Oh, dude, it's in every facet of life. We're on this topic right now. Somebody just posted in the chat room. I looked it up. It's true. Blaze TV ends its relationship with Proud Boys founder Gavin McInnes.
Well, there you go.
Another one fucking silenced again.
Well, Blaze TV merged with CRTV, Mark Levin's thing.
And took all of 2 days to fire Gavin from because he was on CRTV.
Right.
He had that Get Off My Lawn show.
Right.
And now that has been axed. Well, hopefully he goes back to fucking Compound. I hope he does. And he's gonna look for somewhere. And Anthony has already said that he'll have him back.
Sure.
Good. Maybe he'll replace that fucking god awful morning show. That shit stinks. Well, other than looking at that chick, ooh, she's hot, but that Joan, what's her name? Joanne Nosachinski. She was on the election night coverage.
Yeah, I saw her.
She's really hot.
She was the one sitting on the couch.
Yeah, she's really hot, but adds nothing other than hot.
Well, speaking of adding nothing, and since you're talking about Anthony, I do have a segment here with Anthony.
All right.
But did you obviously have been listening to Anthony's interviews that he did on the West Coast tour. He was stopped off at Adam Carolla, and he stopped off at Joe Rogan. Mm-hmm. Did you hear the one with Adam Carolla?
Yes.
Did you hear how often that chick that Adam Carolla works with kept chiming in with nonsensical?
Yeah, she stinks.
I mean, she just... both Adam and Anthony are like having this one-on-one discussion, and she keeps shoehorning her comments in between everything they say. Mm-hmm. And it's like, will you just sit there and shut up?
She does that now all the time. She's new. I forget what the other girl's name was on the show, but the other girl was good. I'm looking at her. I think her name was Allison something.
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't listen to Adam Carolla that often, but I tuned in to listen to Anthony, and this chick kept interjecting these comments.
She stinks.
It's like, why are you talking?
Yeah, the new girl is Gina Grad. And the other girl, I forget what the other girl's name was, but Gina Grad sucks. She's the main... I stopped listening to Adam because his podcast just got tired once they got rid of the other girl, the Allison girl, whatever her name was, Allison Rosen. Once she left and they brought in Gina Grad, and Gina just fucking won't shut her goddamn pie hole, I was like done. I stopped listening.
Yeah, I got through about 15 minutes of the Anthony thing, and I was just, I can't listen to this chick just keep interjecting shit.
Yeah, because it's not even necessary. She doesn't provide a necessary function to the show.
Well, she's trying to be funny.
Yeah, but she's not.
And she's not. And it was almost what's just distracting.
Yeah.
You're trying to listen to what these two guys are yapping about, and this chick keeps jumping in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that's a show that is really... I used to listen to... You remember, I used to listen to it all the time.
Yeah, of course.
And I still have it on my phone, but I almost never listen to it. I did listen to the ones with Anthony, and I agree with you. It was just brutal. And Anthony kept you could tell he was distracted by it, too. Because he kept kind of like laughing his way back into talking. Like, anyway, what I was saying.
Yeah, exactly. That. He would just do the kind thing and acknowledge her.
Yeah, exactly.
But she kept interrupting the train of thought there.
Yeah. So he would do that, like I was saying, and then back into it, and then she would say something else stupid. Yeah, she sucks.
Well, the reason I brought this up is because Anthony Cumia also on his book tour, he visited Joe Rogan.
Yeah. By the way, did you read the book or start reading it?
Yeah, I started reading it.
Good? Not good? I haven't got it yet. I'm waiting for the audio.
Well, I've only got into the first chapter. I'm just starting in it, so I can't really give you a review yet.
Right, okay.
But anyway, I found the first 5 or 8 minutes of the Joe Rogan podcast with Anthony to be something that you and I and probably a lot of our, guy listeners can relate to.
Okay.
And I had to laugh. I was listening to this and I was just like, I got to bring this to the show.
Okay.
Because this is stuff that you and I often talk about on this show. And Anthony and Joe relate to this. And this goes back to your whole tirade about compromise. How much are you willing to compromise in a relationship?
Right.
So here we go. This is Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan Experience with Anthony Cumia of the Compound Media.
This would not exist.
Which is insane.
That is 100% actual fact. I was watching you doing live from the compound. Me and Brian Redband were sitting in my fucking living room, and we were watching you. You were fucking playing karaoke. You were singing karaoke with a machine gun in front of a green screen. And I was like, this guy just set up his own studio. Like, he already has Opie and Anthony's show. At the time, you guys were on Sirius XM.
Yeah.
And he just decided to do this thing in your basement just for a goof.
Yeah, it was like a hobby.
But it's like guys who don't have kids, married, who are not married, don't have kids, don't have anybody telling them what to do, and they also have disposable income. Then you get to see what guys really want to do.
I could relate to that.
I am relating to it.
Yeah.
100%. My house, dude, you've been to my house since divorce, post-divorce, and pre-divorce. It's two different places.
Oh, yeah.
It?
And I mean, you've been to my house. It is totally a guy house.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's no, you wouldn't think a girl had ever even been there.
No.
Your house has nothing girlish about it.
So I like that. You're sitting in front of a green screen doing karaoke with a machine gun. Guys with no kids, with disposable income, you get to see what guys really want to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They want to sing karaoke with a machine gun in front of a green screen.
Yeah, it was crazy gun guy karaoke. So I could do that. If I was married, I would have a wife that would lose her mind at my living room. Like my living room table that you're supposed to have a candle on and little tchotchkes and stuff is a widescreen computer monitor and a gaming system right next to the table. I have a gaming computer that's just unbelievable. And I sit there and just play video games.
So
that's what guys do.
Dude, the biggest change for me was once she was out of here was in the bedroom, because she, for the entire time we were married, 100% this was an absolute fight that we had 100 times and I always lost it, was she would not let me have a TV in the bedroom. Absolutely would not. Because, sometimes I wanted to just kind of come to bed and maybe watch TV for an hour or so before I go to sleep, right?
Well, I got my big 55-inch on my wall.
Now I've got a 55. Now I have two TVs in the bedroom. I have a, and this is no lie. I have my bed. If you draw a square, okay, my bed is in the right, front of the room. Okay? Like right front corner. So in front of me, in the left front corner, or the right back corner rather, is my big 55-inch TV. But over on the other wall, on what would be the left front would be where the door is to come in, and you walk right into a computer table that is set up with a 32-inch monitor and my Mac is set up there to work on, and it's plugged into this monitor. But next to it, in the corner, in the left far corner, is another TV, is a 32-inch TV, so that I can either A, be watching it while I'm working, if I'm working in the room, or B, so that if I don't want to be laying on my right side watching the TV in front of me, I can roll over to my left side and watch the TV that's on the left side of the room. That's how far I've taken it.
There you go.
and I mean, 20 fucking years of we're not having a TV in the bedroom. No fucking way. Not going to happen. because that'll take your attention from me. Ugh. Horrible.
All right, here we go.
The table itself is a gaming monitor?
Yeah, the whole table. Well,
Is it one of those touchscreen ones?
No, it's a giant wide monitor. It's like 40 inches wide.
So that's the table.
No, it's on the table.
Oh, on the table.
Yeah, the table's this big heavy metal thing, but it's just everything. There's VR goggles up on the console by the TV. It's just sensors around the room for the VR. It's a playground, and you're absolutely right. Guys will spend their money on having fun if allowed to.
That's what this.
He's right.
Guys will spend their money on having fun.
He's right. Dude, I always talk about this shit, but more and more, in my living room, I spend more time talking to Google than I do any chick, because I literally in my living room will be like, "Hey Google, play this on my TV," and it plays. And I have one of those devices now in my bedroom too, so that I don't need it. I could simply push a remote control, but I like it.
Yeah, there you go.
I just want to have that gadget.
Sure.
Where I could say, "Hey Google, play fucking Ted Bundy movie on the bedroom TV, or play it on the bedroom Roku TV, or or whatever." I just want it. It's that fucking simple.
This place is
insane,
I can't
Joe.
do this in my house. You go to my house, it's my wife's house.
See? That's how it works.
I have one elk head on the wall. That's all I have.
That's
Everything
all
else is
you're allowed. I laugh at guys when they have the man cave.
Yeah.
They're like, "Dude, come on down to the man cave. The chicks aren't allowed down here. I got this, the TV, that." And I'm like, no. Her place is the whole house. She relegated you to one room. I go, and you're happy about it. You're happy that you got one room.
Happy.
And you're happy about it.
You're happy that you got a closet.
Yeah.
Thanks, honey. Anywhere that people will actually be is hers, but yeah, you can be in the fucking basement, in a cold, dank basement. And let's face it, have you seen more than 2 man caves in your life that were actually cool? Legitimately cool.
No, because anything compared to my studio, it pales in comparison.
Yeah, the only man cave that I have ever been in that was legitimately cool, I mean a cool room, was Omam, our good friend Rob Kern.
Right.
His man cave, his basement, it's like walking into a bar. And it might as well be called Motorhead's Pub, because it's got a couple of TVs in it, and it's got all kinds of cool Motorhead memorabilia, and it's got like a cast iron Motorhead skull, and he's got a bar down there with a bar fridge, and I think there's a keg hookup in it. I mean, it's a real cool place. And like when I was there the one day, me and him got all fucked up, and then in the end, we sat in his basement on his couch, which is a nice comfy couch, just sitting around watching Deep Purple videos, blasting full fucking blast. And his was cool. Every other one I've been in has been a basement where they threw a rug down so the floor wouldn't be freezing cold, and a TV and maybe some panel walling to fucking hide the cinder block that is right behind it.
Right.
But it's in the end, it's just a cold, damp, dark, shitty room. And most guys, and this is the other part that people leave out, half the time they only get half the man cave, because right behind it or on the left of it or something is where all the fucking laundry shit is.
Right.
The laundry and the washer and the dryer hookups and shit. So it's only partially, it's the man cave, but the wife can still get down there and fucking keep an eye on it to make sure it doesn't get a little too crazy.
Right.
Fuck your man cave. Stupid.
Wife, happy life.
That's apparently it. It didn't work. It didn't work for me.
You know the Thoreau quote that I say way too many times in this podcast, but I love the quote. Most men live lives of silent desperation.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is true.
It's a...
So real.
It is.
That's so real. And all married guys are living a life of somewhat silent desperation. You know, when does the desperation start? Do you think it starts after the first year?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like from year 1 until the divorce is fucking silent desperation. Or except for the last year, because the last year is usually when you just give up. Last year's when the reason that she either leaves or you fucking leave her is because you've just given up and you're like, you know what? You're a twat. I fucking hate you. And I don't care if you know now.
Right.
I tried to make it work for 22 of these years. This last one, I don't give a fuck how much you hate me. Or whatever number of years somebody else might have had. Not saying that mine was 23 years long.
Right.
100% true.
It was. I was married for a time, and it was a nightmare. It was a living hell for me. The only thing that got me through as many years as I was married, because I was married 9 years, and I don't remember one happy year out of those 9. But I had gotten into radio pretty early on in that marriage, and that was my life. So I dedicated myself. No matter how miserable anything else in my life was, I was doing radio. So I thought it was awesome.
I have a theory about that. I really do. I think that a person needs a certain amount of suffering in their life. And if you look at some of the all-time great comics, or even all-time great radio personalities, like Howard Stern.
Yeah.
Howard Stern, during his heyday, when he was the fucking man, was miserable at home. Right? And he would talk about it. He would hide in his basement.
I love those stories,
you would realize, like, here's this guy. He's the biggest radio personality ever. He's huge, and yet he's got to hide. And he's just talking about masturbating and hiding from his wife, and he can't get any sex. And you're like, it didn't matter if he was huge. It didn't matter if he was famous. It didn't matter how rich he was. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
He's just hiding in the basement. And that angst came out on the radio. Like, you related to him. You understood it.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Sounds like me.
I know, that's what I'm saying. That's why I said I thought we could relate to this.
Sounds like 2007 to 2009, doesn't it?
Right. Yep.
That was the funniest I ever was on this show. And a lot of that funny came from absolute fucking disgust and hate that I had for everything.
Yeah, your pain and suffering.
I was just angry all the fucking time.
Yep, angry Aiken.
Yep.
I get that, it worked for me because there was a lot of misery. Like when I started doing really well, we moved back to New York from Boston after we got fired, Opie and myself.
You guys got fired for saying that the mayor died? Is that what happened?
Yeah, it was an April Fool's gag. And because we always thought the radio April Fool's jokes were so stupid and hokey. And we changed the format to all Elvis. And it's like after 10 minutes, they say April Fool's. So we're like, let's just go balls out and say the mayor's dead and have a news guy come on and report it and everything. And then it was supposed to subsequently get more outrageous as the show went on. So by the end of it, there was a Taiwan male hooker in the car with him, and they crashed because he was getting a blowjob or something. Like, it was going to get really ridiculous. But they stopped it early on and never allowed us to even mention it, so people really thought he died. Although it's kind of stupid. You go to the O&A show for your news.
But back then, the internet...
So there's another point right there. You don't tune in here for your news.
Yeah, exactly. Same as here.
Yeah. We're just a couple of goofy guys talking about shit.
Yeah, we really are clones of O&A, aren't we?
Yeah. Yeah, you don't tune in here to get news.
No, not at all. We would hope not.
It wasn't what it is now.
Exactly.
The internet, was it even it was barely a thing.
It was barely a thing because that was 97 around there, 98.
What year did you get on? You were probably early adopter,
I was on really early, like the 80s. I was on bulletin board servers and used to play trivia games with a 300 baud modem with people, and I thought it was amazing even then. And then in the when we were up in Boston, I bought a digital camera that was just this giant thing, and I had a laptop, another giant thing, and I would take pictures of what was going on in the studio and then post them that night on a website that I figured out. I used to code the HTML myself and make a website just to post pictures and links.
Wow.
And people thought it was amazing. Like, you're seeing what we talked about that day. It wasn't instant, but it was pretty cool. And then I started doing videos. I was able to put video, like maybe 8-second clips of nude girls if they were in the studio, and pop that up, and people loved it. And then I got a bill from the company for bandwidth, and I didn't know bandwidth. It was a $12,000 bill for a month.
So Anthony was on the cutting edge of interactive video with live radio.
$12,000.
$12,000. So that was back in the early days of the internet.
Thank God we didn't get hit with that, because we were in the early days with the audio streaming.
That is true.
And we were way out in front of that too. And I think they talk about it in this with real audio.
Yeah.
And that's what we used.
That's right. We did.
Way back then. We were using real audio, like right at the beginning of it.
Yeah,
sure.
It was like 98, 99.
Fucking long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there was no compression or anything. I'm pumping video out to thousands of people uncompressed, and apparently they had that happen a couple of times. So they told me, just don't do it again. They didn't make me pay, which was pretty cool.
Wow!
But at that point, I had to learn about coding and compression and things like that. Yeah.
But so you just kept doing it and just put them in some sort of a compressed format?
Yeah.
What did you use? Do you remember back then?
Oh God, I think it was like for audio, it was Real Audio, which was hilarious.
That's right, the little player.
The little player, real audio player would pop up. And then for video, God, I can't even remember what it was, but it was terrible. It was all pixelated, like 10 frames per minute.
Isn't it weird that things like Real Audio, which was everywhere, they just quit?
They gave up.
Are they around still?
Unless they changed into something else, or
might have got bought out by
got
somebody.
Eaten up. Yeah, that happens to everything.
But honestly, if it was not for you and your show, Live from the Compound, and for Opie and Anthony.
Hilarious.
Because Opie and Anthony was the first radio show that where I ever realized you don't really have to have a format.
Yeah.
You can just talk.
Yeah, it was just kind of a talk thing.
It was a hang.
And a lot of the... we were on the same it was the same company as Howard Stern, CBS Radio. Yeah. Oh, look at that.
Real is still here?
It makes,
wow.
It says it makes stories from your videos and photos now, but this is exactly what it is. It's real.com. It's a real player.
Automatically makes video stories from your best photos.
Sorry to cut you off there.
Ew. Ew, it's ew now.
It's like a kind of montage.
iPhone does it automatically now.
It used to be a good way to watch porn with weird codecs.
The codecs, yeah.
Right? When porn had a weird codecs, like, who compiled this?
Yeah.
And then you'd get it, you'd watch it on Real Player. Like when you'd get porn from BitTorrent.
Yeah. And sometimes you wouldn't have anything on your computer to play it. It would say codec not available.
Yeah, exactly.
Get pissed off because you like the thumbnail.
Like, fuck.
Yeah. It's like, no, that thumbnail was awesome. I got to see this.
The thumbnail looked good.
Yeah. Remember that.
Yeah. So there you are. There's a little bit of Anthony on Joe Rogan Experience.
Yep, good stuff.
Yeah. So if you want to check that out, it is on YouTube. Joe Rogan Experience number 1209.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a good interview, and just a lot of great stories there, and very influential in what we do here.
Yeah, definitely was. We say it all the time. O&A was our shit.
Sure.
I mean, we both were fans of Stern too. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, I started with Stern. I when I was driving a truck back in the very early 90s.
Yeah,
this was before Stern was syndicated anywhere. When I would go to the East Coast, he was in New York and Philadelphia.
Right.
He was just on the two
stations.
The two stations, and when I would get into the Philadelphia or New York area on during the morning hours, I would listen to the Howard Stern.
Right. He's on YSP or something.
Yeah, exactly. So when I would go home, of course I would tell my friends and people, man, I'm listening to this guy, Howard Stern,
Mm-hmm.
And then, he started branching out and finally came to Cleveland.
Yeah, 94.
Yeah.
93.
And I would have to argue with the girlfriend about what we were listening to in the morning because she wanted to listen to Bill Lewis over at WNCX. Or John Lanigan in the morning, rather. Lanigan and crew, because she thought that was really funny. I was like, turn that over. I want to listen to Stern.
Lanigan in the morning or Stern?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That's not even... Well, did she find Stern to be offensive? Was that her deal?
She just didn't get the humor, I don't think.
No.
Because Lanigan obviously was around in Cleveland before Stern came on the air, so this is what I'm used to listening to.
Yeah.
So when I would listen to Stern, it's just like, can't we listen to Lanigan? It's like, Lanigan's lame.
Yeah. What are you going to hear? The goofy news of the morning or whatever? What was the things that he used to do?
It was just the stupid shticky shit.
Yeah, it was morning zoo shit.
Yep.
It really was. That was the one thing Stern did that really revolutionized the business, is he really just proved how shitty morning radio generally was. How it was all morning zoo garbage.
Yep.
And to be honest, it's going back to that now. Dude, the rare times that I turn on the radio and fish around in the morning, it's like, hey, it's me and Gina here in the morning here. Yeah, it's great. It's like, we'll be right back after two on the 10s. Ugh, shut up. Just shut up. If you're not going to do something that's interesting, just fucking play songs.
Yeah.
Don't even have a DJ. Honestly, don't even have a DJ.
Hey, it's Eric and Kathy in the morning. Coming up next, we got Waiting by the Phone.
But before that, cooking tips with Jerry.
Right.
It's like, Jesus, really? Cooking tips?
Yeah, because it's all safe. It's all safe radio.
Yeah, it's not like anybody's in their car driving to work where these cooking tips will do any good.
Well, the thing is that if you even think back to, the 90s, the mid-90s when Howard Stern came to Cleveland.
Yeah.
His show would not pass muster today.
Oh, no. Not at all. He would have been thrown right out of it. Yeah. Dude, what's been great is, and I think I talked about this before, but almost every episode of Stern TV or whatever it's called, Howard on Demand.
Yeah, exactly.
Is on YouTube. And I because I was an O&A guy, I had XM, I really didn't hear much of the XM time or the serious time with Howard. Man, he did a lot of funny shit.
He did.
And I guess I never heard any of it because I was in the O&A camp and I just was like, yeah, Howard sucks. He's fucking terrible now. But he really wasn't that bad now that I'm sitting back watching some of it, and some of it with Artie and stuff is really fucking funny.
Yeah.
Good stuff, man. For people that miss the old Howard stuff or actually miss the O&A stuff too, it's all on YouTube. I have been listening to one or the other almost nonstop just about every single day lately. I just throw it on YouTube, and especially the O&A stuff, some generous soul has gone, like, if they, how O&A would have like a topic, but it would go on for like 4 or 5 different days. Like they'd be talking about something, then it would lead to the next day, and then there'd be an update the next day and all that stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Some generous soul has gone and just put those all together.
They just compiled it into one long thing.
One 3 or 4 hour radio thing. So I can just turn it on in the morning, and it's like the old days where I could just listen to the fucking radio, from 8 till noon, and I'm good. And then I can find something else at noon to listen to. And it's really, really been great reliving some of it. And it's funny how much I thought I listened to every episode of O&A, and it's funny how much of this shit I don't remember. Because I guess I only heard it once in passing, and I was probably working and not paying attention fully to it or whatever. But there's lots of great stuff out there, and the Stern stuff is really good too. So I'm not I'm not saying O&A was better or worse. I'm just saying that if you like that kind of stuff, there are tens of thousands of hours of it on YouTube. That's well worth listening to and checking out.
Well, very good. Well, Anthony has a book out.
Yes, permanently suspended.
And it is available. And he did, as I mentioned earlier, he did make the rounds. And you can catch him on Rogan or Adam Carolla and a couple other podcasts out there. But, yeah, he did some good appearances this week. I caught up with another one, something like the Church of something or another.
Was that the Joey Diaz one?
I think so.
Yeah, the guy that sounds like Big Mike from New York or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Joey Diaz.
Okay. So
yeah, he did a bunch. He also did Michael Malice's show, You're Welcome with Michael Malice. He did Legion of Skanks. I think he did the Real Ass podcast with Louis J. Gomez. He did a bunch. So he soon will be doing the Classic Metal Show. I'm hoping. I actually did not reach out to Allie this week, but I'm going to this week, and I'm gonna see now that it's all slowed down. I gave them, they were back in studio this week, so next week I'm gonna reach out and see if I can't get them before the holidays hit.
Right. So anyway, if you have an interest in any of that stuff, you can go find it.
Yeah, dude. Do you still? I mean, not current stuff, but do you still follow like any of the players from then, the Stuttering John?
Not really, no.
Hartling or whatever.
Dude,
Stuttering John has a book out.
Okay. Now I know that he kind of dished a lot of dirt.
Yeah,
I heard about it. I didn't read it, but I am aware of it.
There's 2 YouTube videos out there. One is just called like Stuttering John Dishes or Reveals Secrets of Howard Stern. And then the other one is Stuttering John Reveals More Secrets on Howard Stern. And it's all excerpts from his book, like his book on tape book. Excellent listen, man. I listened to the Stuttering John, the More Secrets, and it's like 2 hours, and all of it was really kind of fascinating. When you were listening to Stern, and even when they would be like busting balls and stuff, didn't you always think that they all kind of got along?
I would have thought so, yeah.
Dude, Stuttering John makes it sound like it was just the worst place to fucking work.
Well, the thing is that one of some of the funniest bits that I remember from the Howard Stern show was, of course, when he would send Stuttering John out on location to interview people.
Right.
Which that was really funny. I think one of the funniest interviews that he ever did was when he cornered Fred Gwynn, Herman Munster.
Right. Oh, yeah.
He was like at some kind of art exhibit. He was like a painter or something.
Right.
And so they sent Stuttering John out to talk to him, but Herman Munster didn't want to talk about the Munsters.
Right.
He just wanted to talk about his paintings.
Right.
And so Stuttering John kept, trying to put a Munster-related question in.
Right. Yeah, and he was trying to say, did you ever see Lily naked? Shit like that. Dude, Stuttering John ruled, man. I don't know if you were a fan or not of Stuttering John, but I thought he was the best. I thought he was like the best part of the fucking show.
Well, yeah, he would do a lot of stuff on a dare,
right?
And he would go through with it.
Yep, I loved him, man. I always thought he was great.
But what I find interesting is that a lot of the peripheral characters that were part of the Howard Stern show back in the day, most of them are dead.
Yeah, a lot of them are. What's his name? Hank the Dwarf died, and did Beetlejuice die?
I don't know, but that redheaded kid, he died in jail.
Yeah.
What was his name? What was
Eric the Midget?
No,
No. I know Eric the Midget died.
Yeah.
redheaded kid.
Yeah, redheaded guy. He wasn't this. What was his name?
Crackhead Bob?
No, he was normal. He was just kind of slow. He didn't have like a speech impediment or anything like that. He was just kind of he went to jail for something.
Kenneth Keith Callenbach?
That's him.
Kenneth Keith, yeah.
Yeah.
He died. Yeah, Crackhead Bob died. Blue Iris died. Yeah, lots of them died.
Oh, that Nicole Bass, she died.
She died, Nicole Bass, yeah. Yeah, Joey Boots died. Wow, yeah, a lot of people died off of that show.
Yeah.
Daniel Carver, he died. Yeah, there's not a lot left.
Yeah.
No wonder he's interviewing celebrities. All his whack pack is dead.
No kidding.
Well, I got an idea, dude. Since we're talking about all this, why don't you play Stuttering John's hit? Can you find that on YouTube?
What was it called?
Talk My Way Out of It.
Okay. Let me look it up here real quick.
It was called And I Talk My Way Out of It. I have that album somewhere. I bought it, of course. I went to a CD signing and met Stuttering John. I did, because the record, that was crazy all by itself. The show was so popular that this guy that was just a local musician anywhere else ends up being signed to Atlantic Records. You know, just because he was on the Stern Show.
All right, I found it.
All right, yeah, play that out.
Okay. All right, well, we're going to play a couple of tunes. We'll come back and we'll wrap up the show.
All right, sounds good.
All right, so here it is. It's Stuttering John exclusively here
on your classic metal show.